The plane hummed steady at 36,000 feet, somewhere over the Rockies. Coffee sloshing in paper cups while folks pretended not to peek at each other over their phone screens. In first class, a CEO in his late 40s lounged like he owned the sky. Dress shirt crisp, laugh cutting right through the hush of the cabin. When I say smug, picture the guy who judges your shoes before he even knows your name. He sized up everyone around him. But what really set him off was the single dad, a few seats over guy in his 30s. Frayed at the edges, balancing a coloring book and a restless little girl. The CEO leaned over, voice dripping with condescension. Closest you ever got to flying was folding a paper plane. Huh? He sneered. The dad just sat there, jaw working, not a word back. That's when the intercom crackled, and everything changed. Ladies and gentlemen, is there anyone on board with fighter pilot experience? We need help in the cockpit immediately. Dead silence fell, the kind that stretches so tight you swear you can hear your own pulse. The dad, Ethan Walker, stood up slow, eyes on his daughter. He pressed her crayon into her hand, whispered something soft, and bent down. Stay with the nice lady. Kiddo, Daddy's got to help. His little girl clung to him, eyes round with worry. Promise you'll come back? He kissed her forehead. Promise. The CEO let out this half laugh, half snort, shaking his head. Guy can't even afford business class. Now he thinks he's Top Gun? Ethan didn't dignify that with an answer. He just walked forward, every step solid, as if the chaos in the cabin meant nothing. Flight attendants met him at the galley, desperate hope flickering in their eyes. Sir, are you? Ethan's voice was even. No brag. 12 years in the seat of an F-16. Gasps swept through the rows of seats. The CEO's face paled. Suddenly, the man he'd mocked was the only one who might keep them from disaster. As Ethan disappeared into the cockpit, murmurs broke out. God bless him. He's our only chance. The CEO shrank into his seat, pride bleeding out with every passing second. Now, the story could end there, a man stepping up in crisis, but it wasn't just about Ethan being a hero. It was about what it means to be underestimated, to be the guy people overlook or dismiss until they need you most. With the door closed behind him, Ethan faced a captain slick with sweat, co-pilot's hands shaking over the controls. We've lost hydraulics. Starboard side. The captain stammered. Autopilot's dead. If we can't stabilize, we're rolling over. Ethan slid into the jump seat. Movement's precise. Run me through what you've tried. The captain rattled off failures. Panic in his eyes. Ethan absorbed every word, not blinking, brain shifting back to desert sorties, to moments when one wrong move meant never coming home. Manual override. Now, Ethan ordered, voice sharp. Kill autopilot. Feather the controls. I'll bring her down. The co-pilot hesitated. You're not cleared. Ethan's gaze was ice. You want cleared or you want alive? Decide. That did it. They obeyed. Meanwhile, back in the cabin, the mood curdled on heavy jolt sent coffee flying and passengers clutching armrests. The CEO's face drained of color, watching Ethan's daughter hug her stuffed rabbit. The attendant murmuring, Your dad's got this. Sweetie, he'll bring us home. The little girl nodded. He always does. Inside the cockpit, Ethan's hands flew over switches, sweat rolling down his temples. She's too heavy. The captain whispered. We're not. Ethan cut him off. Trust me, I've landed worse. This is just another Tuesday. The captain stared, and for the first time, something like hope returned to his face. The altimeter spun downward. Come on, old girl, Ethan whispered. Let's dance. In first class, the CEO turned to his seatmate. His bravado shot. I mocked him. Now he's saving us. The passenger just shook their head. Maybe remember that next time. The jet jerked again. Screams rising. A woman praying. A baby wailing. Ethan's voice cut through. clear and commanding over the intercom. "This is Ethan Walker. I flew fighters for the U.S. Air Force. We've got a problem, but I need you all to breathe and stay calm. I will get us down." Gasps. Then a fragile hope rippled through the cabin. The CEO blinked back tears. Ethan's daughter squeezed her rabbit tighter. Inside the cockpit, warning alarms shrieked. The plane fought every input, dragging left, trying to tip into oblivion. Rudder trim. Steady. Don't fight her. Guide her. Ethan barked. The co-pilot followed his lead. Gradually, the plane responded barely. But enough. Sweat stung Ethan's eyes, his knuckles white on the controls. The captain whispered, "How are you so calm?" Ethan's jaw tightened. He thought of old nights, tracer rounds over sand, voices lost to radio static. "Because panic kills. And I promised my daughter I'd come back." The words hit like a slap of cold water. In the cabin, the CEO stared at the little girl, something cracking inside him. All his status, suits, and deals meant nothing here. The only thing that mattered was the dad he'd just tried to break with words. A final jolt. "Brace," Ethan called, landing in seconds. "Trust me." The runway shimmered ahead, heat waves blurring safety into a mirage. "Gear down," he ordered, every muscle tensed. The plane shrieked as the wheels hit, metal screaming, passengers crying out. Ethan fought the yoke, body straining, until the jet skidded to a halt trough. But safe. The silence broke in a tidal wave cheers. Sobs. Prayers. The CEO stumbled up, face pale, suit rumpled, dignity gone. Ethan stepped out, shirt soaked, hands shaking. His daughter launched into his arms, both of them crying. "Told you I'd be right back." He managed, his voice raw. The applause rolled on, more powerful than any first-class privilege. People lined up to thank him, but Ethan's world narrowed to his daughter's arms around his neck. The CEO, finally humble, approached. "Mr. Walker, I owe you my life, and an apology. I was wrong about you." Ethan looked at him, not angry, just tired. "Maybe next time, don't judge. You never know what battles someone's fighting." On the tarmac, reporters swarmed, cameras flashing. Ethan shielded his daughter, brushing off the circus. "No statements. I just want to go home." Gregory Miles, the CEO, lingered in the shadows, watching Ethan hold his child, realizing everything he'd built meant little compared to one moment of real courage. A few days later, Gregory knocked at Ethan's apartment, envelope in hand. "Not money," he said quickly. "A job offer head of safety in my company. We need men like you." Ethan hesitated, looking at his daughter. Maybe, for once, a chance could come without a price. "My kid comes first," he said. Gregory nodded, meaning it. "That's why I trust you." Weeks later, Ethan walked into a glass tower, his daughter's hand in his. Gregory introduced him to the boardroom not as an employee, but as a reminder. "This man showed me leadership is about courage and sacrifice." Applause rose, but Ethan only smiled at his daughter, waving in the doorway. The single dad, once belittled, was now an example and a hero, not just for landing a crippled jet, but for standing tall when no one else would. And somewhere between sky and tarmac, arrogance was replaced by respect, a lesson learned at 30,000 feet, thanks to the steady hands of a man with everything to lose and nothing left to prove.